TitleMatchNetwork.com.
So when you guys got back up to the state, well, that was part of the States, but when you came back home to the East Coast, where did you guys go from there?
Well, we didn't really want to come right home to Jersey because it was, in the middle of winter. We're like, oh, let's do something different. And we were friends with Hack Meyers from ECW, and we saw him down in Puerto Rico. He was working for Canonas.
Right.
And he'd just gotten fired and went home. So we were talking to him. He's like, well, I live in Daytona. If you guys want to come stay here to see if you like it in Florida, and then you can get a place. So we were like, all right. So we went down. We went to Hack Meyers. It's actually his parents' house, which we didn't know.
Right.
So we're staying there. His parents weren't there most of the time. They were up in Maryland. Oh, excuse me. Some water. I'm burping.
It's cool.
So we went to Daytona. We were there over Christmas. We were there for a total of like 2.5 months, I guess. But as soon as we got there, within like 2 weeks after we got there, Hack Meyers, who was this nice guy in Puerto Rico, is starting to treat me like I'm his housewife. He was like, he'd wake up in the morning, why isn't these floors mopped? And why are the dishes in the sink? I was like, who am I married to here? You were Chris. It was ridiculous. It was absolutely ridiculous. So finally it was right after New Year's, and there was, I think, right before New Year's or right after New Year's, and there was a Frank Goodman show booked that we were flying home for, and we just didn't come back.
Right.
We got, we packed our bags to go home for the show and never got on the plane to come back to Florida. And Hack called us up. He goes, where are you guys? We're like, we're not coming back down there. Thanks for the free room for all. It wasn't even free. Thanks for the room. Another thing we do, Hack wouldn't spend a dime on food. And I went grocery shopping every day because I love to cook. I'd come home, cook. Chris and I would eat, and then Hack would just scarf it all down, eat all the leftovers. But he didn't pay for a single thing of food. Right. So everything we were making in Florida was going to feed 3 people. It was such a waste of time. It wasn't worth it.
What is the craziest thing a promoter ever asked you to do?
Craziest thing. Well, as far as I'm concerned, nothing in this business is really crazy. Right. It all comes as job description.
Nature of the...
But probably the craziest thing I was ever asked to do, and I shouldn't have done it because I'm paying for it now. 2001 in XPW, Rob Black wanted a really big bump from me. I said, all right, what kind? He goes, well, I was thinking of like a pile driver through a table. I said, I don't trust anybody to drive my head through a table. I said, I'll take a power bomb off the top, but that's fine. I've seen girls do it. Not a big deal. Right. I've been told it doesn't hurt. Never took a table bump before. So basically he's like, oh, I'll set it up where, Lizzie's on the table. You're on top of Lizzie Borden. And then, you get a splash to the table. I said, that's not good because Vic Grimes, huge, 400 pounds, going to splash us. I said, 2 girls on top of each other. I mean, one of us is going to get probably her because she was so little. Right. I said, if you want her on the table, have him powerbomb me this way through, not head. He wanted it like a 69 position. Right. But it'd been like my face in her knees. I mean, we would have crushed or something would have happened. I said, let him powerbomb me through the table. So she just has to bend at the waist. He's like, okay. So we were in the match. I don't remember what match it was. I think it was Shane against Vic. It started as Chris against Vic Grimes, but Chris had put a pulled groin. So it became Shane against Vic Grimes. And, Lizzie and I are down selling, and Vic Grimes is setting up the table. And I notice, I'm like, oh, fuck. I'm like, he's taking the wrong table. Instead of getting a table from under the ring, he grabs a timekeeper's table right there in Philadelphia, which it's a narrow table. It's like a 8-layer thick plywood table. It's not a regular table. Right. And I see him taking the wrong table. And I'm like, oh, fuck, that's the hard one. That's the hard table. This is going to hurt. He sets it up, and I see right away this is not going to be good. Puts Lizzie on, puts me on the top rope, sets me up, gets underneath me. Powerbomb. What happens? I bounce. Because the table's moving. Right. It's too thick. And all of a sudden, we're in Philly in the ECW arena. The whole place starts booing. I was like, there's no way I'm getting booed out of this fucking building after all the times I'm working in it. I look at him. I said, pick me up and drive me through the son of a bitch. Because then when I bounced, Lizzie rolled off because she was in pain. I looked at him. I said, pick me up and drive me through the son of a bitch. She goes, are you sure? I said, do it. I'm not getting booed out of this building because you grabbed the wrong fucking table, douchebag. All right. So he sets me up again, picks me up. And of course, he doesn't come through it with me. He just drives me through. The thing shattered. And I was like, okay, well, no, I feel my adrenaline's up. I feel okay. Well, since then, I have to go to a chiropractor 3 times a week, and I have permanent nerve damage in my lower back from that table. Yeah, it's not fun. Like even just this morning, I'm trying to get out of bed, and sometimes if I just move the wrong way, or if I even cough the wrong way, my lower back just locks up, and it feels like somebody's stabbing me and like twisting the knife in there. That happened this morning again. Sometimes I can't even walk when it gets bad. I have to just wait for it to ease up. It's not good. Not good at all.
TitleMatchNetwork.com